And it took me probably an hour to get this set up. Hopefully everything works. I think it's working. It looks like it's working. I need chat windows on this side. So I think I'll just have to open some additional browser windows. Yeah. Actually, let me use one of these. Anyways, I'm going to be trying out some equipment. Took some effort. Wonder if I can pop out the chat of this thing. Just make sure it works. Oh man. Pause that. And then it's probably gonna do ads. Crap, I didn't think about that on YouTube. Shoot. Maybe I'll just look at the phone. Whatever. Say that I'm live. No. That's what other, yeah, okay. Why am I getting ads on the mobile app when I'm signed into my own account? Man. Crazy. I was going to be trying out some equipment. I'll try to answer any questions or anything that I see in the different chats, but I don't have a great setup for looking at chats right now because I am doing two different platforms. One of the platforms complains about mentioning it, so I'm not going to give too many details. But right now I have a wireless microphone set up with... I've never done any videos so far with these. This is a newer CM28. And then I have it hooked up to the computer. Here's my preview. Yeah. Oops. Anyways, it's connected to me at the moment with a microphone, so you can record internally in these, which is what I'm going to do right now. I think it's a hold long press. Yeah, there we go. Now it's blinking red. Pretty cool. I think I got these used on Amazon for under $50. It comes with two of the transmitters and then the receiver thing, which is hooked up to the computer, and that's pushing a signal into the computer. And I've got a few different views going. Minimize that. I want these visible. Pause that. Yeah, I really don't have a great chat setup. Let's see. All right, that's working. So I can switch to the different views. I've got this view. Obviously, this is one of the things that I'm going to look at, that thing attached to the GoPro. Then I have a different one and then two other pieces of equipment, or a bag and a mounting system thing. I've got the back camera. These are just some cloth things. Anyways, then I've got this one. This is a hands-on view. That's the equipment. And then I've got this one. In case I want to come back here, like this camera doesn't focus. It's old. It's a cheap webcam. I did do a video on that, the JLab webcam. So quite a few different ways to look at stuff. But yeah, I think I'll start with this view, and then I can walk around and do stuff without being tied to a microphone. Gonna start a recording in case I want to use that. All right. I can see the chat from here. I have a screen pointing at this direction. So this is what they sent. So let me get my phone. All right. So got these quick release things. This camera is not in. Is it in autofocus? No. So it's kind of a third-party quick release for GoPro action cameras using the little things on the bottom. This one's a super clamp and then a bag. They did send me these at no cost. However, they had to agree to my usual terms, which are on my website, where it basically says they have no say in the content of the video and all that stuff. Pull up some information on these things. Again, if you want to talk about random camera equipment, I'll make an attempt to read the chat from here. The screen's pretty small, but I think I can see it decentish. Okay, the company is called STARTRC VCR. So quite the name. I'll look at this one first. Is that focusing? Yeah, okay. So they say it's a magnetic quick release plate kit for various action cameras that uses the GoPro style fins. Let's see. Actually, do one thing before I get too much into that. Going to here. This is going to be very live, so don't expect like instant action. Is that public? Yeah, that's public. But if you want to talk about other camera equipment or whatever, I will be open to that, of course. The last GoPro stream was pretty good. Oops. That should be good. Don't need those. What is this? I don't need that. All right. Okay, I think that's working. Yeah, it's still working. Cool. Hopefully this is not. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. I'm gonna pin a message in one of the chat things. Okay. All right. Almost done. This might be too big of a chat message. We'll see. All right. Copy that. This thing. Huh? There we go. Go here. Pause that. Oh, forgot to. Man, I'm getting so many. Oh, exceeds character limit. Awesome. I did notice that Amazon, you can stream on there too when you have a quote unquote influencer account. I've never tried it, but maybe at some point I'll make an attempt. Although it feels kind of like a very odd place to be doing that type of thing. All right, that should be good. Almost. Man, using a phone is very not ideal. All right. Yeah, that kind of worked. Okay, yeah, I think that worked. Cool. This over here. Let's open this thing. I have to adjust my camera angles. Is that straight? No, not even close. How's that? All right. I should get some scissors. Might be easier. Do. Oh, shoot. That's awkward. Uh, Sorry, there's a thing on a screen that I can't see from where my mouse is. There we go. Definitely need to think of new methods of certain things. It's a good test of sorts. The lighting's not ideal. So 20%. Be back even further. All right. It's a little bit better. So it says snap 1/4 inch. So on the bottom, it has a standard quarter 20 connection. On the top, this is a quick release sort of deal. And you know, the usual GoPro pins go in there. Let's see what we got here. All right. I use the GoPro a lot. Actually, more than any other type of camera. Oh, there we go. There it is in a nice little soft, whoops, foam protection. Back in the box. Anyways, I use a GoPro more than any other camera for most of my videos these days. I mean, at least the outdoor ones. Interesting. Oh. Interesting. Yeah. So, I like the orange. This is some sort of composite or plastic on the outside. There's a rubber on the bottom. You got your quarter 20 connection. Obviously, got a very substantial, takes some effort to press that in. So these are not going to accidentally, and it looks like they're connected to the opposite side. So as I press this one, that one side goes in. Same for that. That's a pretty sizable amount of effort. But I think in this case, it makes sense. So I got my GoPro Hero 9. This doesn't have all of the cool stuff of the new ones. The newer ones have a built-in quarter 20 connection on them. This one does not. You could probably buy a replacement or like a swap kit. I do have a third-party one that fits in here, and I've used it quite a bit in the past, but not recently, because the way that I use this camera usually now is on a backpack with standard stuff in a quick release. So this thing, the standard GoPro connection with this, and then the camera set up like that, so I can get this orientation. I'm curious to see how this will work. See if it's possible. All right. Zoom out a little bit. So I'm gonna push it in. It's in there. That was easy. Yeah. So it does. Okay. You can't have it. I was concerned. I was wondering if this was the case. It's not going to perfectly be flat here. So this kind of precludes it for my specific use case. Yeah, if these were longer, that would have worked. But sadly, no. All right. Kind of pulling on it, seeing if it comes loose. Seems very fixed on there. It doesn't have like a ton of pressure or like clamping force to keep it from shifting like this. I mean, it is very easy. It locks in there. So just yeah, it is convenient. Interesting. Locks in. Not too bad. I don't know. Should I set this camera to autofocus? I don't know. Pretty cool. And then you could put it on a tripod or something. And get a little tripod to try out with that. Get my Nikon tripod in this one. Pretty cool. Yeah. There we go. Make sure it's focused. Nice. Locks in. It does have a fair amount of gripping force that direction, but I can shift it with a finger. Interesting. I could see that being useful quickly. Just clamp that in. Yeah. Not bad. Let's try it with this other one. There we go. This is a nice compact setup. You want to do vlogging maybe? Whoops. That's pretty cool. You could see using that. It's got enough tilt to it that, yeah, I think that would work nicely. And then just set it like that. That's actually not bad at all. I could see using that quickly. Go like that. Wish I had a chair that didn't squeak. So it's like a little stool that I'm using. So this area is small. Yeah, it's cool. Let's try out the other one. So this one is basically the same thing, but it's got pins on the bottom instead of the tripod connection. Good. Yeah. Put up. Yeah, basically the same thing. So this is a plastic, some sort of composite material. So keep that in mind. Got the same setup with the quick release. Nice. Let's see. So it looks like this GoPro has enough weight to it that it does shift the quick release. Yeah. So if you do want the pins instead of a tripod connection, this could be an option. There we go. Doubling the quick releaseness. Okay, that didn't. Do these have? Yeah, they do. Well, I don't know why you'd want to do this, but it's an option if you want to. Interesting. Trying to think of a use case for this one. Yeah, it's got the same situation where it's not going to be 90 degrees. So that kind of, like I said, that makes it not super useful for my specific use case on the backpack mount. But maybe, well, this one would do its thing. So if you wanted more height or something, that could potentially be useful. Yeah. Pull on it. The way that it works and stays in there is it uses the pins, these little holes in there, to make it work. And on the inside of this, it has metal, looks like metal pins. That's as close as I can get. Yeah. Got another light. Where's my other light? It's in here. There we go. That's good enough. Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see that orange, that's metal, most likely. Because these are metal. This part's plastic. Yeah. So it definitely uses the little holes in the mount. Cool. So use cases, I'm trying to think what would be a potentially interesting use case for this. Either one. I'm not sure. If you're doing a lot of action stuff, I don't know if this would be the ideal solution, considering it does shift more so. It's quick, but like I said, it does shift in that direction. So if you were on like some type of vehicle or bicycle or something, it might move. Anyways, let's move on to the next thing. Take a look at this clamp. The super clamp mount. All right. So initially they were going to send me a GoPro 13 battery charger thing, but I don't obviously have a 13, so it was useless. 13 uses different batteries than the 9. And they also wanted to send like a case or something. It just didn't look very interesting. So I asked them to send me this as well as this bag. To me, these looked more interesting to look at. And if you've ever done any home, studio, pseudo studio work, having this type of clamp is very useful a lot of the time. I'm using a ton of these similar devices, but I think I'm trying to think of what they called it to have here. They call it heavy duty clamp, but motorcycle handlebar in the Amazon listing. So on the Amazon listing, it says clamp camera mount. It's got the clamp itself, and it has an extension, and it also has a GoPro style connector. Take a look at the back. See if there's anything interesting. Okay. So it's Shenzhen STARTRC technology. I don't know why they had VCR in their Amazon name. Anyways, I guess this is the official name. That's the company that sent this stuff to me. That's cool. It's not really anything else on here. There we go. Let's pop it open. Instructions. Quality certificate. Oops. And we got the cool stuff. If you've ever done video work, you'll probably love gear like this. Very cool. I don't know how close I should go. Oh yeah. It's got some heft to it. This is metal. This is metal. Yeah, pretty much all metal, except for the rubber parts, obviously. Right here. It's some type of rubber. These shift so that it can conform to a bar or something as you tighten it. It's cool. Then you've got the 3/4 connection. Is it? No, 3/8. Duh. 3/8 connection, 1/4-20. It's been a while. Let's see. Yeah, so just the two connector points on the back. 1/4-20, 3/8. Standard tripod connections. And here's the extension arm. This is also metal. Feels like potentially aluminum. And then some other type of metal. Oh, that's interesting. So inside I've never seen that. It's got knurling. Is that what it's called? Knurling inside of there? So it gets a tighter connection when you tighten it down. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen that. Usually those are smooth, the ball portion. And on the bottom here, it's got a little rubber stopper thing. Like a little grommet of sorts. Gasket. That's nice. This is pretty standard. So that's a 1/4-20 connection. Very nice. Tightening screw. Yeah, I like this. So I'm guessing this one's supposed to go in here. Yeah. You can see what it intends to do there. I don't know why they didn't use the same, like have two of these. That would have made more sense to me, just to make it uniform. But hey, because this is a little bit shorter. And then this is meant to help you tighten things connected to it, because you can loosen this and butt up against whatever is connected. Okay. Got some most likely Chinese on the inside. Instruction card. Let me focus it just in case. I'll probably use some of this footage in the video I make on this stuff. So I'll try it. Obviously I'm doing this live stream thing, but I'll try this stuff out in a little bit more detail and then make a full video on it. And then in the future, there's something else showing up. Another company, a larger, more well-known company, is most likely sending me something. So that should be pretty fun. It is slightly related to one of my videos in the past. I don't know if I should say anymore. But it's like a zero obligation, so I don't even have to make a video. But I will. So I guess I could say it. I'll probably be getting a new Polaroid camera at some point. I made a video on the Go 2. That's a fun little camera. I still have it. It's in the background of my videos when I'm talking to the camera. But they're sending one of their newer ones. Not the small, but like a more of a larger size one. Anyways, I've got they call it the P-Pod. I guess that's the P-Pod. P-Pod handle. So, instructions. Take out the super clamp. Oh, it's not just a clamp, but it's a super clamp. There was another company that used that type of naming too. I can think of. Take out super clamp. Let's see. Rotate the handle clockwise, counterclockwise. Connect it to something. Yes. I don't know if people need instructions for this, but hey, there might be someone. It's nice that they include something with it. Okay, this product has a maximum load capacity of 5 kilograms with a tubular clamping range of 15 to 60 millimeters and a flat clamping range of 5 to 50 millimeters. And then obviously their company is not responsible for accidents. So that's cool. And there's a standard GoPro style connection. This one, quality-wise, it's not terrible. It's obviously some type of plastic. Usually this portion is flat, so it's nice that they added a little ridge there. Yeah, not too bad. It's kind of contoured. I don't need this anymore. This box is not perfectly flat, so it's a little fiddly. Oh, there we go. All right, let's assemble. Whoops. Connection point. Whoops. So you want to put the short end on there. And then you probably want to tighten this while you're doing it so it really clamps into it. And it does have that gasket, which increases the hold, I assume. Yeah. Now we've got the full deal. That's kind of cool. So in this case, I can take one of these mounts connected to that. So here it's already hitting the maximum of the depth of that, so that way, I'm going to take this thing, use that to tighten it. Sorry, my main light is this direction. Probably good enough. Oops. Yeah, so maybe putting this on a bicycle or some type of tube system. I do have a big bar for my computer area, and this clamp would work nicely on that. But this adds a good amount of extension. I can kind of limit it on angles here. There we go. This takes a little, this clamps down really easily, side one, so I would be careful with that one. Oh, not in frame again. It's probably good. There we go. So if you want to clamp something, clamp to this. All right. Yeah, I don't have a great setup for testing that, but I could test it in another area. So it's cool. Last thing. So we've got let's see what they call this thing. Universal Sling Bag. Look at their actual product listing. It's a carry bag for action cameras. It's a sling type bag. The specific one is gray and orange, which are some of my most used colors. I don't know, gray's not a color, but I don't wear orange that much, but I like orange and gray. I wear gray a lot. Look at the information on the back. Okay, same thing. Shenzhen STARTRC technology company. Not much else on it. And there's their website. Oops. Nothing in the box. Background. There it is. Oh. Okay, so it's got their logo on here on the product listing. That didn't have anything on there. Oh. Actually, it looks higher quality than I was expecting. It's always good. And it's got some texturing to it. Interesting. So if you want to immerse, or you're a woman, you want a camera bag purse, this kind of is probably a similar shape, but it's a sling. So there's the quick release. I think this is a mix of plastic and metal. This top piece, I'm not sure. It might be. Like, how do I open this? Oh. Oh. It's magnetic. So, this is magnetic. Okay. So it's a hinge. You got this hinge here, and then there's a triangle that I assume, yeah. Okay. Cool. I've never seen that design before. Interesting. I mean, longevity-wise, it's hard to say, but it's kind of cool looking. Because there's obviously a pivot point, and there's the rest of it. So to put it back on, oh, very, very easy to put back on. Oh, wow. Okay, it's much simpler than I thought. So just pull up. That's cool. Locks into place. Very easy. So there's the connection point. Whoops. Front here. Oh wow. It's a sizable opening there. I mean, a sizable compartment. So let's say, for example, yeah, nice. There we go. It's cool. And there's a zipper on the top. Inside, we've got slots towards the back. And then from there, this has 2 pockets. And another larger pocket type thing. But it looks like this comes out. Oh, and then that's got, whoops, some elastic little pouches of some sort. I'm not really sure. Maybe micro SD cards? What else would go in there? Interesting. Yeah, it's cool. Right. So without that, it's got a fair amount of room. There's a clamp for keys or something. If you want to make sure they don't fall out. Then there's a mesh pouch on that side. Very functional. Nice. So this is clearly big enough for a GoPro. You can even slide it. Okay. If the GoPro didn't have the max lens mount on, it could probably fit in one of these pouches. But it can obviously fit in the main area as well. And try a camera. This camera is a little much for that. We'll see. It fits. Fit. Does kind of fit. If you have a thinner lens, that might be a decent option. Although I don't know if I would trust that quick release for something like that. Try a lens. Maybe this could be a lens pouch. Yeah. Not bad. Obviously, it's meant for action cameras. See if I have any other action camera stuff I could put in there. Actually, there is, in the future, if I ever get a smaller camera like a Ricoh GR, that and a GoPro would be a really nice convention photography setup. And this bag, I think, would work nicely. There's a... It doesn't fit in those. But I could put this thing in here. Or swap the lens mod. The GoPro in here. And this is a strap with a GoPro connection point. Stick that in there. Take one of these things. Put it in there. Yeah. There we go. Nice. So it has that textured material. Let's see if that shows up in the camera. Yeah, it does. Nice. So this is interesting. It's got the two connection points. Same thing for this side. Pretty cool. This takes a little bit of effort because it's got an odd, it's like an enclosed gonna there we go. Takes a little bit of additional effort to deal with. Okay, that's smooth. All right. Yeah, this bag's nice. I mean, I'm not like a massive fan of quick releases. Just for safety purposes, but you could always have like a secondary strap or something here to attach these two pieces together. How do I pull this up? Oh, duh. Push that back. Let's do that again. Easy. It's magic. Cool. I'll try this on in the other area. Oh, there's this too. I don't know if it's worse or better to use autofocus. I feel like not using autofocus tends to be better when I'm editing because then I don't have it jumpy. There's the specifications on it. This is the ST1218 121800051. 300 grams, 230 by 150 by 80 millimeters. It's a 900D fabric, light gray 900D coated. internal divider, cloth, foam. Yeah. And it's got more information. Kind of gives an idea of what you might want to put in there. So they're showing a different action cameras, a gimbal, a little drone. I don't know, maybe. Keys, micro SD cards. Yeah, I think those slots were for micro SD. All right. Cool. Gonna switch back to the other view. One of them. Try some of this stuff out a little bit more. What's this? There we go. Chair out of the way. All right. Maybe the back camera. Where's my mouse? Start a recording in case I want to use this. Precarious. All right. I don't know, should I get something to give some scale to this thing? Here's a CD. So this is Outrun 2006. Good scale unit of measure. Gonna adjust my chat view. Okay, that's not ideal. I don't know if I want this on screen. Do the top-down camera. Wait, is it upside down? Yes. Lip. There we go. So there's a nice little scale unit of measure. Now those CDs aren't quite as popular as they used to be. All right, let's go to the back camera. See if I can adjust this in a way that makes sense for trying it. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have done this off the live view, but enough. It's as wide as it gets. Got this bag here. This little quick release. Oh. You're supposed to go like this. How's that? Where's the... Oh, the quick release is back there. Interesting. Wait, what? This can go... No, this way. I don't know. Maybe it's not really designed to go in the back. So I can't access the... Don't know. Okay, maybe this must be the official orientation. Camera up. Lower this. Smells janky. See about right here. Okay, that's probably too close. Very small space. Yeah. Need it lower. Just like go this direction. Oh man. How's that? Now I can't reach the focus. This is in manual focus as well. Standing like right here. There we go. Yeah, cool. And you got your quick release. There we go. Put it backwards. No. What? Yeah, that magnetic connection point's very fast. How do I tighten this? Oh. So there's a loop here. This should be where it gets tightened. There we go. Yeah. This, I like this thing. Nice. Okay, so for these, not to readjust my camera again, but I have a setup in the back for that. Oh, duh. Okay, so it does work on the back as well. And it's basically still accessible, the quick release. So that's good. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong thing. Duh. Okay, that would probably autofocus the whole time. Yeah. Going to put this thing in here. Nice. Oh, and even if you pull on this, you have to pull up as well. So it seems pretty smartly designed. This actually, speaking of Polaroid, this is the little Polaroid Go. Could be a very nice bag for that. Check out this stuff. There we go. Yeah. So this fit nicely in here. And then the Polaroid came with this thing of you can put film in it. That's good. Yeah. I still have access to the quick release down here. Yeah, I like this. Ooh. All right. And then obviously you need little cameras as well. Fit nicely in here. This one. There we go. I like this. Very cool. divider back in there. See, the GoPro still fits. Yeah. See if this camera still fits. Yeah. See what else can I do here? So it's already zoomed out as far as it zooms. So that's straight, kind of. I know this camera's very slow, so the mouth talking isn't in sync. So we've got this clamp mount and the bars on the thing are designed for that. So I could clamp it from the pieces, but I can also clamp it from the feet, but it's a lot of options. So there's that. And if I wanted to use one of these quick release things, do that. Get this one out of the way. Yeah. All right. So now it's got a quick release. Let's see. Zoom in more. Cool. Clamp mount, and then I've got the quick release that they sent. Let's see how this works. The GoPro. So it is holding okay. And I can also use this other one for extension. There we go. Double clamping. Okay, maybe not. Well. I can use this one. There we go. So that's kind of a thing. Obviously you can adjust it how you want, or just use these other portions. Something like that. That can be useful potentially. Yeah. If you wanted to potentially use a GoPro for webcam, I think it does that, maybe. Not totally sure. But I could use the media mod. That would work for sure. I do have it. Around here somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. So, put on the media mod. I could go back to the hands-on area and try that. Just to see how it looks. But if you wanted to use a normal camera here, it would work as well. Do I have a normal camera? I do really like this bag. All right. Keep it in. Switch back to the this view. Actually, let me stop that other recording. Yes. Cool. All right. Put a reference for focusing. So we got the media mod. Take the door off. This is a third-party door. Here we go. Let's see how this works with the pins. All right. Yeah, it doesn't have any issue with the media mod. That's good. Whoops. This thing is on. I don't know why it beeped. Turned it on accidentally. Yeah, that does work with the media mod. That's good to see. I want to put it on a tripod. Something like that. Do that. Nice. That's the extent of how far back it goes. Sorry, I have my chat stuff open. but I haven't seen a single one, so I think it's fine. I could see this being useful for vlogging. Whoops. There we go. But again, it's not like super grippy for that direction, so it should work. It's just, I wouldn't expect it not to shift a little bit over time if you're moving around quite a bit. That could work. And then simply go like this, or take it off, hold it, whatever you want to do. That in there. Yeah. So one of the benefits without the media mod is that accessing the door and stuff is easier without having this thing protruding from the camera. That's nice. I should probably demonstrate that. Let me get the official door. If I can find it. Oh, right. Here it is. So here's the official battery door. Also going to get an SD card. While I'm at it, this thing. There we go. Nice. No, I don't want that one. All right. So the memory card thing is in here, obviously. Let's put that in there, lock it down. So this is official GoPro configuration. And now I can put it on this thing. So it's on there. And now I can easily access the battery door. Oops. Okay, it's not focused properly. So here I can access the door. If I had the pin coming out, or whatever these are called, if I had this thing protruding from the camera, it's a challenge to access the door. So I can demonstrate that. But with this quick release, not so much. Close, please. And then let's do that too. With this, see that I can't easily open the battery door, so that is kind of a hassle. Obviously, depending on your setup, you can have it go the other direction. That does work, but it's more difficult. And then when I use this one, it's even harder. And this is the one that I use for my backpack setup. Whoops. Why is it? Yeah, that's good. So this one's not spring loaded. Okay. Is this the new one? I'm going to use their thing. Wherever it is, here it is. All right. Oh, theirs goes for what I do, because I have the thing this direction. This one goes the other way, which is good. And then I can still access the battery jar. I mean, some people might put it this direction, but I don't tend to do that. Get these out of the way. So here. There we go. Yeah, so this is my usual configuration. I have it mounted to a backpack, going to conventions, and accessing this. If I don't have this open, when I put this thing on, it's really, really difficult to get to. The problem is that these quick releases don't give me a full 90 degrees, so it's not going to work for my own personal use case, but I could see it potentially benefiting someone that has a similar setup that doesn't need the 90-degree angle. Oops. There we go. So that's as far as it tilts, but at the very least you can easily access the door. I mean, it might, I can at least try it and see how it works. So there's the quick release that I use. These are Ulanzi ones. This thing on here. I mean, I could potentially shift the position of it. That's the thing. Yeah. We'll see. Let me swap back to another view. And then I'll have to readjust the camera again. Back camera. Zoom out. Something like that. Is this fully zoomed out? I think so. All right. There's the backpack, and there's the quick release down there. Why is it so heavy? I'll grab this thing in here. I guess it doesn't matter. Put it back in there. As a weight test. There we go. And then see if this works. This really extends it. It would technically, if I reposition this to the top maybe, but then it would be more visible. That is convenient. And I could also do like a U shape, but then it's just more stuff. And I don't think I want more stuff. Let's see. Oops, I'm pressing the wrong thing. Good. Yeah. Autofocus is has its own problems, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. We get the other one out of curiosity, at least. Whoops. So this could go here. Okay, this one doesn't even, kind of locks up right there. Yeah, I don't think that would help. Use a normal. I could try this thing. This comes with the kit of the clamp. This came with the clamp. And then this one with the fins on the bottom. I think it's too much, but I'm gonna try it anyways. That doesn't quite. It still has an angle to it. Yeah. it does technically work, but it adds a lot more bulk. Yeah. Switch. So I guess another option would be like a mount on the top. Trying to think of how I could do that. I don't know if I had like a clamp type thing with a direct tripod connection, and then it could just stay on top. That would work. And that would be low profile, but I don't think I have anything like that. Just like it'd be a strap, and yeah, right there. And it's still very noticeable. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I think that's probably good. Yeah. I think out of the stuff that they sent me, I like this bag. And I also like the clamp. These are fine, but they are somewhat limited based on the angling of stuff. And also that it shifts a little bit. Switch to this view. Get this backpack off me in a second. So I'm going to make a full video on this stuff probably next. Oops. Yeah, I can move this here. To come up with what to say and such. There we go. Yeah. Anyways, there was that. This thing. The bag. I think this is my favorite piece. The materials are cool. The quick release is very quick, but it still seems to hold well. Obviously it's like partly plastic, but you know, that's kind of the way of things. And then the other clamp thing, I'll get that as well. These are just very functional pieces of equipment usually, so yeah. This can be a little tight, but other than that, and the knurling on the inside of those that's good, I think, because it should really hold the position of things as it gets clamped down. And then on the bottom, it's got these feet. These are flat, which I guess makes sense. Depending, like if you want to clamp it to a table or something, which I guess I could do. Switch back. to the back camera. Actually, also do that. Really good. Yeah. So something like that, pretty easy. And then could use one of these again. There we go. GoPro on it. I'm going to zoom in the camera. Yeah, something like this is super convenient. Could just do some type of like that. If you wanted a hands-on view or something, could potentially do that. And if you wanted more distance, okay, that's about as much distance as you'll get with this combination. Yeah. I could also stack these again. Kind of like Legos. There we go. Do like a hands-on thingamajig. Here's a battery. Obviously with GoPro, you're generally not GoPro's not a good one to do that with because it's fixed focus. But something like that could be cool. Cool. Yeah, so I don't see any comments. I think I'm just gonna end this and then start thinking about what I'll say for an actual video. See how it goes. And then I'll be using a bunch of this footage for that. It's good B-roll. Yeah. And that recording, cool. Anyways, if you see this, hope you enjoy it, find it interesting. Probably my favorite thing of the set is this bag. I can see this being useful for quite a bit of stuff. I'm gonna head out. Peace.